Yes, 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 Thoroughbreds. We are back. 2026 is upon us. I've got a little bit of pep in my step coming off of a premiership, of course, dual premiership, NRL, NRLW as well. We are the Penalty Broncos, as everyone hopefully knows are here. If you're new here, welcome along. We are the number one Broncos podcast that we listen to, so that's why you're most likely here as well. This is a bit of a special episode. We're starting the season off right. We've got a World Club Challenge. The lads are taking it pretty serious. Madges want some silverware. We want some silverware. So we thought we might as well put in the work as well, and we'll do a World Cup Challenge preview to kick off the season. I have the ever-ready one half of the forward pack online with me today. Ringer, mate, how are you? How is your season for you, mate?
To be back, Thoroughbreds. Off season's been, I don't know, it seemed like it's gone on for decades, hasn't it? Like a lot has happened in the period that we haven't been on this podcast. You know, we've had a famous Ashes win, which is, you know, there's no red-blooded Australian that doesn't enjoy giving the Poms a good kicking. Yep. So we got through that. All the Christmas festivities, and then 2026 decided to be a little bit savage. We've had a lot of news. Let's just say that there's been gun violence and files being released, and it just seems like everything's happening in 2026. But you know what is happening? A back-to-back premiership for both the Broncos teams, the NRL and NRLW, and that's what we're here to focus on, mate. And anyone watching, this is a microphone. It's not a phallic symbol coming towards my mouth on the YouTubes.
It's not a green screen.
No, it's not Shrek just coming at me with all he's got. So, yeah, it's a microphone. We've upgraded over the off season, mate. How'd you go? How's your off season been? How have you handled the lack of footy coming up until the last couple of days?
Well, mate, I tell you what. I was going to say boring if you had asked me about a week ago. Like, oh, God, it was a boring off-season. Like, thank God, no scandals and all that. Yeah, I kind of hoped that it would have stayed like that. But unfortunately, we got a big smack in the mouth last Sunday with the word that, Payne Haas has moved on at the end of the season. But I will say this, for all the networks out there and everything, please stop saying Payne Haas has quit the Broncos, because he hasn't. He's just seeing out his current contract. He hasn't quit on us at all. He's just doing what he's legally allowed to do. So I think Payne will put in a massive year this year. Hakeem, I think, legally, so I found out today, legally, it's still Payne Haas. But he has changed on all of his socials, and obviously in within the Muslim faith, he is known as Hakeem, which I kind of figured. I think, like, yes, he's changed it now on Instagram, but I kind of figured that they were calling him Hakeem anyway. Like, Payne is a very solo person, I guess. He's isolated, very quiet and whatnot. I have a feeling that he's being called Hakeem for quite a while. And now that this has all come out, someone has just, I don't know, spoken to the right person and I've called him that. What's that mean? Oh, that's his name here. I changed his name, and now there's a story, and then he's kind of like, well, shit, now I've got to bloody change my Instagram. I don't know if that's the case. I'm just theorizing here. But yeah, Payne, Hakeem, he's going to give 110, 120% like he always does, right up until the end of the final whistle for this season, which hopefully will be the end of the grand final. And then, like I said on our press conference, mate, we just hand him off to the Rabbitohs with a torn hammy or something like that. That'll be absolutely fine.
The Achilles is gone or something. But you're right, mate. As heartbreaking as the initial news was that, you're losing a generational prop. And we are. And, like, there's no getting around it. But the thing I've come to grips with is that all the grandstanding from media saying that Broncos did something wrong all seems to be nothing. There doesn't seem to be any water weight to any of that. So this is just Hakeem Payne Haas wanting a new start, His father was a huge Rabbitohs man. He's got Wayne Bennett. Like, I think people are sort of sleeping on that fact. Wayne Bennett has secured this deal. You've got the Gladiator sitting there as Wayne's backup, probably saying, hey, Payne here, you've got all these troubles with all your extended family. Let's just put them all through the best schools in Sydney and I'll cover that. God only knows if that's true, but you never know. There's got to be, Payne's a family man. I'm guessing there's a lot of family-orientated stuff thrown into the deal. And as a Broncos fan, you can be angry if you want, but in all honesty, he's been with us for 8 years. From the absolute shit show that was a wooden spoon for the Broncos to delivering us a competition that, if you asked us in the middle of the year, we wouldn't even, even the most hardcore fans didn't think that we were still a real shot at winning a comp like we all said we were. But I mean, hand on heart, did you think that we were actually going to win a comp last year? Next thing we do and looked unbeatable. Going into a year now that we still get 12 months of Payne Haas with all of the blokes that he says he loves the most in this world that have been with him through all the hardship. I'm sorry. Look the fuck out competition 2026 because Payne Haas is going to absolutely tear it up this year. And as a Broncos fan, we've just got to be along for the ride, be happy for him, thank him on the way out, and just, salute him into the sunset. Thank you very much, Payne. He can't do anything more for us, and I don't think anyone has the right to be angry at him for making the decision that he has.
Nah, I think it's his Glenn Lazarus moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would I know you could stay? There is the whole argument, you stay here and create a dynasty, and you started it, finish it, and all that sort of stuff. You're 100% right, but Wayne Bennett is the little factor. If Wayne was retired, probably wouldn't have happened, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, anyway, it is what it is. Came out of nowhere. I like how it all got broken. I like how the Cairns Post was the first place that I found out about it. That was amazing. Whoever's got the link up at the Cairns Post, good on you. But anyway, then it all started falling. Then the Rabbitohs released a statement saying we've lodged the contract. Then the Broncos, I don't know whether that was panic stations, but it was just all ended up being very fluid. It was very good, I thought.
Yeah.
And then, Adam Reynolds just had to try and take a bit of shine off and announce his retirement. Then, of course, Buzz Rossfield probably looked like the fucking Undertaker in WWE coming back to life, looking for a typewriter. But, thank God. Imagine if they waited for Buzz to retire just to release that.
Yeah,
they got wind of it.
Ricky was doing all in the Payne, if you're going to South, don't do it until this prick retires. Like, Pretty Ricky was just on the down low, fucking sorting shit out for the media.
Hopefully. All right. Like I said, we're not taking this World Club Challenge lightly at all. We did team up with the Rugby League Daily Facebook group. They're on Instagram and TikTok as well. And we had a young lad.
Thoroughbreds.
Yeah, go give them a follow. They do pretty good content for the Super League as well. So if you want to get in and around and figure out what's going on over there, it's a very good place to start. One of their admin is in England. He is a massive Hull KR fan. He's given us all the content for this this episode today. He was going to come on, but life happens. So we've moved on without him. Maybe there might be a chance in the future where he can come on and have a go at us, but I mean, let's be honest. You start the year out as reigning premiers, then you go down to the very newly promoted York Knights. Then you got to try and front. You got to try and front a penalty Broncos episode just before your team's about to get basted,
murdered.
Nerves probably hit the lad. So let's just give him a little bit of a break, and we'll see how it all unfolds. Probably going to end up with egg in my face now. We'll go down 1 point or something.
Yeah, probably. Anyway. Ball of fire, but anyway.
That's the territory that we live with, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. The reigning premiers in the NRL, mate. We can say what we want.
So anyway, yeah. Well, what you're about to hear is basically his notes. He's very passionate. His dad was a Hull KR fan. He's a Hull KR fan. They've been through it all, and it'll be a little bit. It'd be different in the Super League because they haven't always been in the Super League. They got promoted up. So imagine like just living with that thought of your team getting up into the Super League and then trying to stay there and trying to stay relevant. Like that's a fan. As like, I know we've got diehards in the NRL, but that must be a fan. If you're going to stick with your team all the way through regulation and stuff like that, yeah, hats off to you. Well done.
Yeah, can you imagine like how many Tigers fans there would be left if after 3 wooden spoons in a row they've been demoted into the New South Wales Cup? Like, no, they would just cease to exist.
Like, imagine talking to poor Lincoln at the United.
Oh, Link.
Mate.
Yeah, he's playing New South. Imagine that. Imagine the relegation system and the Knights are playing New South Wales Cup this year with Dylan Brown as $1 million a season player. Oh, anyway, it definitely adds a bit of spice to the life of a rugby league fan. I reckon
I'd love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon it's got legs.
I mean, it'd be shit if you were a Newcastle Knights fan because the team that they put out during the trial match probably loses to a Jersey Flegg team. Let's be honest.
But, that was bad to watch.
Yeah, I've got one person left in my super coach team that he can stay there. He did well today in the versus
he wasn't
Moldies,
playing for the Knights, interestingly enough.
Righto. So we will kick into this then. So we're going to explain the crossover a little bit. NRL versus Super League, Hull KR versus the Brisbane Broncos. So Hull basically completed what they called the treble last year. And so they won the Challenge Cup, which I sort of compared to the preseason challenge. It's a knockout round robin type of thing, and the last person standing is the winner. So they won that. Broncos won that as well. We won the preseason challenge. Just so you know, we're 2 on the trot, and that doesn't count this year because we didn't play. So next year we're going for 3 in a row. Then they went the League Leaders Shield, which is basically our equivalent of the JJ Gilton Shield for the minor premiers. Then they went on, obviously, to win the Super League Grand Final, and that's akin to the Proven Summons Premiers Trophy that we've got here. So that's the treble, and it will be our first hit out of the year, but it'll be Hull KR's second game. Really, it'll be their third game because they did a trial match against a bunch of amateurs and 104-0. Beat their chest sort of stuff. But so a quick scene set, date and time. It'll be the 20th of Feb, 5:30 a.m. Queensland time, and I believe so that'll be the 19th of February, 7:30 UK time. Friday morning for us, Thursday night for them. The venue is the MKM Stadium. If Harry was here, I was going to ask him if that was like one of their premier stadiums in the league, or if it's just because it's close to the proximity. And then, so early season unknowns, both teams starting the 26 campaigns full of confidence. Well, they both were starting full of confidence. So talk a bit of shit about it now before the game gets on, I guess. What are your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, I was going to just quickly ask you before I see you're going to go into like the history of the Hull Kingston Rovers. Why is this game not on in Vegas? Like, future, all it would take for us, and I'm sure for them, is that whoever the premiers are get the bye in Vegas round, and then we just go back to normal processing after that. Like, they get AI to write the fucking draw anyway. Look, I just can't see how that wouldn't be, and wouldn't it be an unreal kickoff to Vegas? Anyway,
no one wants to buy in the first round, right? Like you don't want that. I mean, I'm sure if you went and asked the West Tigers fans, hey, you guys have got to sit out the first round, none of them would be like, well,
exactly.
Fuck. Well, it's just like no one likes missing out on Magic Round. Sort of thing. Like,
so
no one likes it.
Like you kill 2 birds with one stone. Like your premiers get your Vegas round, like round 1, which goes over like 2 weekends.
Yeah,
they just get that weekend, the Vegas weekend, as their bye, and
then I guess
it's back to normal programming.
Yeah. I guess they play that first week, then they get a whole 2 weeks to rest before they actually hit the
Yeah.
ground running, I guess. Yeah.
So, and
That's a good idea.
and that's how you sell it. That's how you sell it to the coaches, right? Like you say, yeah, you get the bye first round, so you get 2 points, and if you play in Vegas, you essentially get an extra week before your official round 2. And like, how good? Put it in where the real eyes of the ear, first fans' eyes. You get all the Poms over, because how good was it having the Poms over last year? Like the atmosphere, the singing, the crowd, blah blah blah. You get all that to Magic Round. You play another 2 NRL games off into the sunset. I think it'd be unbelievable.
Do you keep the 2 NRL rounds, or do you do 1 NRL round and a Super League round, and then you have the World Club as your third game?
That's probably a better idea. Just send one team over. I don't know. There's something that I heard something where it's more economical to send 4 teams than to send 2. There's something in that, and which would make sense, right? But because you need the 4 sets of fans, whatever. It was explained to me. So I would still have the 2 normal premiership games for the NRL, and then that's what draws your Pommy fans over is the World Club Challenge.
Yeah,
as like the crowning glory.
Let's just get rid of Penrith would have went 4 years in a row. Yeah, we'll fucking beat them. Like,
exactly.
That's you win the premiership. You know exactly round 1 in Vegas. You're playing that team. Like, already. Everyone's on board.
And who gives a shit? Like, if you go on a winning streak and it's all Panthers, no one's gonna, because it's a World Club Challenge game. It'd be different if the Premiers went over just to play their first club game. But because it's World Club Challenge, it's a completely different beast, and it brings a whole other sort like fan base over. So anyway, honestly, how often are we going to get another three-peat of premierships, like, except for us? Like,
of course, coming up, another one. I like today how I pointed out that Big Jack Goz potentially going to have a World Club Challenge ring to his name before the Panthers did. So I'm here for that shit.
Yes.
I'm here for that.
Shit, yeah.
All right. So from what we understand as well, the Robins were supposed to take on the Warrington Wolves, but they've postponed that to another date in their season. So hats off to the Wolves for allowing that to happen. And then the Rovers have got a bit on the road. Like, that loss would have hurt them because they've got that, then they've got us, then they got to fly to Vegas. Like, they've got a fair bit on.
It's a big week.
Yeah. So, any UK listeners that we pick up, just, if I butcher something, just blame Harry. All right. Okay? I can't give you his address, but just blame the kid, and it's not on me. I've watched a handful of Super League games. I watched the York Knights game actually because it was on at a convenient time. That was pretty good. It was a shit fucking weather. Holy crap, it was terrible. Sleety, rain, cold, just
being paced for the rest of the fucking English year. But anyway,
yeah. So, okay. Club history lesson. Hull KR for all you NRL lads and laddettes out there that are looking to tune in for the game. The origins and the identity of Hull Kingston Rovers. According to Harry, they were founded in 1882 by a group of Boilermakers in Hull. And you imagine a couple of Boilermakers in Hull just looking to get out there and smash a few ribs together and whatnot. She would have been absolute scenes. They were known as the Rovers or the Robins, not simply Hull, and that refers to their cross-city rivals, and we'll get into a bit. Their home ground is Craven Park. Harry describes it as one of the best atmospheres in Super League, so I reckon it'd have a little bit of dairy farmers about it, or maybe Leichhardt Oval or something like that. So,
because they're not big stadiums, but they're loud.
Yeah, so that'd be pretty good. The club has moved in and out of the top tier across its history, but has accumulated 6 league championships across the divisions, 2 Challenge Cups, and a major trophy breakthrough in 2025 when they got their
Okay, so
first.
2025 was their first. Yeah, okay, very
Correct.
good.
Yeah. And Harry emphasises that the club identity is rooted in the working class culture and loyalty, particularly generational support. And I mean, founded in 1882,
Bro.
and I'm pretty sure, where does it say here? They were promotion back into the Super League was around 2006 or something like that. So, but I'll get to that. I'll get to that as we go through. So like a long time sort of thing. He lists a couple of historical figures. So Roger Millward, club captain, Great Britain representative Hall of Fame inductee. Phil Lowe, Great Britain World Cup winner. Clive Sullivan, he's a Great Britain captain as well. First black captain of Great Britain in any
There you go.
sport. There you go. George Fairbairn, Man of Steel winner, prolific goal kicker. I think I've heard a bit of Fairbairn.
Yeah, Fairbairn. Yep.
Paul Cook, representative level playmaker. Harry described Millward in particular as one of the greatest halves to play for England. So they've got some talent coming through the halls there at Hull KR. Harry explains that the nickname comes from the club's red and white colours, matching the robin bird. Also helped distinguish them from their city rivals. So the club's song Red Red Robin has reportedly been associated with the club for around a century. That's the thing I love about England, hey, is everything's so fucking old. And then we're sitting over here 200 years young, doing fuck all, really. Their place in the city of Hull, so working class identity, rivalry, context sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's historically a working class port city, strong dock and fishing heritage, proud, hard-working fan base. He strongly differentiates Hull KR from their city rivals, implying a deep cultural divide within Hull Rugby League. So I'm going to go out there and say that Hull KR, working class, Hull FC is like the Roosters, basically. So
is Hull the Rhinos? No, that's Leeds. Sorry,
that's Leeds. Yeah. So I would akin this maybe, if we're looking for NRL context, South Sydney Rabbitohs up against the Sydney Roosters.
Yeah,
I reckon that's what we're looking at here.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. The rivalry with Hull FC is central to the club's identity, makes it clear that Hull and Hull KR are distinct in both culture and support base. So when we first started talking to him, I was like, "Oh, so how long you been a Hull fan?" And that just put him off a little bit. He's like, nice. "Well, let's just clear the air right there. I am a Robins fan." So from Harry's summary, so recent Super League trajectory, this is where we're starting to get into a bit of history here. Periods of regulation and financial instability, including administration in the late 1990s, promotion back into the Super League and efforts to stabilise long term, heavy Challenge Cup final defeat in 2015, regulation in 2016 via the £1 million game. So I think that's 2016, not 2006. So that's when they got promoted back up into the Super League. They had a rebuild under the great Tim Sheens. Strong improvement in the early 2020s. Yeah. 2023 Challenge Cup final. They lost that in extra time. So that was against, I believe, the club who won that one was their back-to-back year. And they narrowly got it over. And then 2024 grand final appearance, so Wigan, that's it. They lost 9-2 to Wigan, who was doing the back-to-back.
That's a rugby league score, isn't it? 9-2. Holy shit.
And you can imagine the conditions as well. Like I'm picturing just
howling fucking shit.
2025 Challenge Cup win, first major trophy in 40 years. 2025 Super League Grand Final victory and completion of the treble season, obviously there. Harry frames the recent period as the end of a long drought and the beginning of a modern golden era. Their expectations for 2026, They're operating from a position of strength now. The expectation appears to be backing up that 2025 success, with the mind shift shifting from hopeful challenger to legitimate heavyweight. And then based on his tone, what does success look like? The club is now, the strength of it all. So they can go out and they can recruit strongly. They can do some good things. Just an all-round boxer of a team sort of thing. So that's Hull KR in a nutshell. Very brief run through, obviously. Now, if we do have any Super League fans listening in, and any NRL fans who are diehard, you can absolutely go off at Ringer here as he goes through the Broncos' history if he gets anything wrong.
Oh yeah. It's not often. I think you got to pay a lot of respect to the English game. Like, there's 105 years between the founding of Hull KR and the Brisbane Broncos. Like, that's fucking ridiculous, you know. And you know, the whole relegation and subjugation of how that sort of system works, and like the Challenge Cup, where like they essentially a minor premiership is a premiership, and then they have a grand final, if you know what I mean. Like much like the like soccer sort of thing, pretty much. But you know, you have to give a lot of credence to that sort of longevity of a club. And, you know, as newcomers, relative, when you start talking about 1882, 1987 is not that long ago, you know. So, mind you, we've got a lot more trophies, but we won't brag too much. So get to the Bronx, right? 87, we are founded. And a fair few, and we entered the New South Wales Rugby League in 1988. And a lot of people, especially to me and to Brito, from where we grew up in sort of northwest Queensland, why don't you support the Cowboys? Well, short answer, there was no Cowboys until we were 6 and 7 years old. Like, we made our alliances, like, and if loyalty's not nothing to you, you can jump ship, but, you know, boys is loyal. So, you know, we don't, that's why a lot of people, when you tell them where you're from and you say, why don't you support the Cowboys? Well, there was no Cowboys when I was a kid, and I love the Broncos. So the Broncos established the first true expansion outside of New South Wales for the New South Wales Rugby League. And it was a team that represented Queensland, the entirety of Queensland at the time, in the New South Wales Rugby League, not just Brisbane. Because you got to remember, Origin started in 1980. Like, that's 7 and 8 years before we had an actual rugby league in the national comp. Even though the Brisbane League was ridiculously strong as a state, you know, you hear a lot of stories about the northern, like the Foley Shield up north, how there was some ridiculously good footy played in those late 80s, mid to late 80s, before sort of the expansion started. So we'd been in the comp for 4 years. We win our first comp in 1992. Back that up with another one in 1993.
Thanks,
so bang, bang. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming, New South Wales. You're fucking terrible. And we'll take it from here, pretty much, is the mindset for the Broncos for the early part of their playing career. Then comes the Super League Wars, which Super League in the UK fans, go and do some deep dives, especially if I can recommend one, the Matty John show where he's talking to Ray Hadley, and they do a big deep dive on the Super League Wars and how that sort of came about. So essentially it was a media company trying to take over the rugby league, and they split the factions down the middle. Broncos were pretty much the first major signing to go with Super League, which pretty much built our coffers up to what they are now. And in 1997, when the Super League Wars happened, we won the comp. We beat, who was it, the Sharks or the Dragons in 97?
feel like it was the Sharkies, but keep talking and I'll check it out.
Anyway, there's a common there's a common theme in rugby league that if the 1997 Broncos were to play the 1997 Knights and the 1997 ARL grand final, which was called the ARL, in the Super League Wars where they played Manly, goes down in history as one of the best grand finals, whatever. But there's a common theme that says if the Broncos played that Knights team in 1997, we would have beaten by 30. It wouldn't have even been a competition. But anyway, they did have Andrew and Matty Johns and a lot of great players, so you never know.
It was Cronulla too.
It was Cronulla. Okay.
Yeah,
yes. Andrew
26-8 was the scoreline.
Give them a proper bumping. So in 1998, when it all come back together as the National Rugby League, we come fourth in the competition. And then there's a period of slight downward spiral, I suppose you could say, for a little bit. But we win the comp in 2000. We win the comp in 2006. And obviously in 2005.
2025.
2025. Jesus. I still haven't stopped writing 2025 on things I've got a date yet. We'll wait until April for that to fucking stop for me. But, the plethora of players that have come through the Brisbane Broncos ranks is honestly incredible when you start listing them off. I'm sure one of our personal favourites, I think our number one, Darren Lockyer, who should be fucking immortal by now, how he is not, is beyond me. An absolute freak. And then you've got cultural figures in rugby league, like Gordon Tallis. Started at the St. George Illawarra. Well, it wasn't St. George Illawarra. Then it was just St. George. He started at the Dragons, come to the Broncos, and found, everyone knows Gordy from the Broncos, right? Wally Lewis played for the Broncos. Alfie Langer, the Caxton Street King.
Super League and
he
no
played
Alfie
for the Broncos.
Langer. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Super League and no Alfie. 2001 comes back and absolutely rips him a new arsehole in the State of Origin. But then, you've got players like Brad Thorne, right? Brad Thorne played International Australia Rugby League, State of Origin Rugby League, won competitions with the Broncos, then decides to trot off to New Zealand and represent New Zealand All Blacks and win fucking World Cups. He's in the conversation for best athlete on the planet. Just for success, right? But then you've got Shane Webke, Steve Renouf, Kevin Walters, Payne Haas, Reece Walsh, and Paddy Carrigan, who are all playing this year. So the Broncos have absolutely, it's a glamour club for a reason. And, we won the spoon. We have to say it. We did win the wooden spoon. And that was a dark, dark day in the club's history. But that has brought us to where we are now with the current crop of players.
Yeah.
Because written here, you've got Carrigan and Haas. I think even Billy Walters, he was on a loan deal to bloody someone else at the time.
Tigers.
I'm pretty sure.
Tigers?
So, Tigers, yeah. I'm pretty sure. This crop of players has literally pretty much picked this club up and taken it to where it is now. In 2019, we suffered our worst ever loss. And it's to the fucking Parramatta Eels, of all things. Of all clubs, like Melbourne, Penrith, can we get a decent club? It was fucking Parramatta. Anyway, then the Roosters did worse than that to us in 2020. So, 59-0. Anyway, competed in 18 consecutive final series from 92 to 2009, which would have to be close to a record, I'd imagine. And the thing that hurts a lot of Broncos, and thank God for the 2025 grand final win, because as a Broncos fan, I've finally been able to go and cathartically watch the 2005, 2015 and 2023 grand finals back, because without that win, with losing two of the best grand finals that's ever been played, they were impossible to watch as a Broncos fan. So going back and watching them, they were incredible games of rugby league, like properly incredible. And
I'll put my hand up. I have never. So I was at a wedding for the 2015 grand final, and I was at an RSL, and I was ducking out, having a look at the score. Yep, all sweet. And then obviously I'm in Townsville, so Cowboys fans everywhere. Who decided to have the wedding on the date of the grand final?
Yeah.
Anyway, another story. But the Cowboys obviously won, and I had to subject my, let's just say that I probably had it coming, the shit that I was talking. I have never, ever watched that game back. I have never watched that game to completion. So if you want to hit me with some trivia on the 2015 grand final, if I answer anything, all bullshit. I refuse to watch it. I've had people in my life purposely put it on, and I have walked out of the room. I refuse to watch it.
I know. I was in exactly the same boat,
mate. I still have it. I've watched the 2023 grand final back once, but I watched that one live end to end. That was heartbreaking. But
it's not a great watch. It's a great watch for like 78 minutes, and you're like, like we're pumping these losers, and then we decided to be losers ourselves. But anyway, so leading into this game that we're going, like, there's been a bit of speculation in previous years that essentially the Australian team treats this like a trial match. It's not, it's not treated as like the top tier of World Club Challenge. Not like it doesn't live up to the name. In saying that, that's because Penrith lost it a lot. So, is that just everyone trying to cover for them? They won bloody 4 grand finals, so they don't need much covering for. But essentially, Madge seems to have taken the view this year that this is not something we're going to fuck around with. We are going over there to get this silverware and bring it home, which is, good. Like, this is essentially because we don't get to play trials playing this World Club Challenge. Like our top squad essentially doesn't get to, you watch it in the Whiteser preseason challenge at the minute where, NRL teams throw their first grade squad on for 20 minutes, half a game, pull them off and send the kids out and whatever. Everyone gets a bit of a run. We essentially don't get that. And neither, so this has to be our head out because when we come home, we've got a couple of weeks until we play. So,
and it's against Panthers of all teams.
Exactly. So there's no dicking about with this. This is something that, and why not? Why not take it and try and, make it the world spectacle that it should be, because it's going to be a great contest. So as we were just saying, Penrith Panthers won 4 premierships in a row, 7 overall, and they have never won a World Club Challenge. And if Broncos go on a run, they can use this game as leverage and argue that they are better than the Panthers at their peak, which is what we're going to say forever, I think, anyway, because we're the penalty Broncos and this isn't the Panthers podcast. Yeah. But essentially, I think Thoroughbreds, I think we're all excited for what's going to happen at this World Club Challenge. Getting to see our boys go out and have a proper head out. You see it all over the socials. They look like they're having, there's not too much going out material at this stage. I'm guessing that's going to come after the fact. The plane ride over looked like bougie as fuck. Jesus Christ. That was a plane. That was first class. That wasn't sitting in front of everyone else like Australian first class. That was fucking first class. So, the boys are living it up. Good on them. And hopefully we get the game that we're all promised. Hopefully Hull Kingston Rovers go good. Hopefully not too good. And hopefully we can sort of gel as a team and we can see that real bonding after we know that, which is a surprise to no one, our captain, Adam Reynolds, going to retire at the end of the year. I don't think that blindsided anyone. Payne's leaving. So, I think we can see that collusion with all the boys. Let's go put a score on. Let's get home unscathed, and let's roll into the 2026 season.
Yeah, 100%. Nah, well done, mate. I like the way that Madge came out as well and said, like, this is an opportunity for this playing group to really stamp their authority in Brisbane history. Like, they can, this core group of players, we went and we did this awesome run into the 2025 grand final. We won that. We went over. We beat Hull KR. We got a bit of silverware. We came back. We gave it a good, like, it was just Adam Reynolds retires and he looks back on that last 2 years of his career very fondly now. Like, well, look at all the silverware we won. Look at the great guys that we had. So, I 100% back Madge in taking it so seriously.
100%.
I reckon it's going to be good. We'll do a bit of competition history lesson here. So it's a National Rugby League up against the Super League. 17 clubs in the NRL, 12 clubs in the Super League, 27 rounds each that they play. One starts in March, which is us, and then they start in mid-Feb sort of thing. They both end in October. We have a top 8 final series, whereas they have a top 6 final series.
Yeah.
We do closed competition, so no regulation, closed license competition. Clubs are protected regardless of ladder position. The NRL clubs can afford long-term rebuilds without existential risk, whereas in the Super League, they have a relegation competition. Promotion, relegation applies. Bottom club can be regulated to the championship. Promotion earned by the lower tier clubs can come up. And the Super League clubs often play with survival pressure at the bottom.
Yeah.
I love the sound of that. Like, and I don't think anyone who's listening, you biased because we won the spoon. Like, there is a real potential that we could have. I don't know how it works. If you win the spoon, are you regulated the very next year? I don't know how it works, but I'd imagine if you win 3 in a row, like the Knights or the Tigers, I'd imagine that you're gone, like you're down in the bottom sort of thing. And then you've got to come back. But then, like, just imagine, okay, so we know Link. We know how passionate he is with the Knights. They win 3 spoons in a row. They get relegated. Then they earn that prize to come back. Like, just that feeling would be nearly as good as winning the grand final itself. Like, surely.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what you see tipping the Thoroughbreds into another good watch is Sunderland Till I Die on Netflix, and it's all about the regulation into the Champions League and in soccer. And you're right. It doesn't take away from the top league. It builds the secondary league so much because all of a sudden, because I think they do 2 in, 2 out.
Okay.
So next minute you've got, so essentially last year it would have been the Titans and Newcastle. Titans and Newcastle would have dropped down into the Queensland New South Wales Cup, and then the 2 best out of that would have went up. Like, can you imagine like how much of a boost that would be to your Queensland Cup sides, and how much that would change the dynamic of how NRL clubs run their grassroots footy too, to make sure that their secondary, their up and comers have got to be fucking shit hot, because if the top team shits the bed, like, so I think it definitely adds so much more theatre. And whether you even went down the route where the bottom 2 NRL teams played the top 2 New South Wales Cup, Queensland Cup teams, and they had to have a shootout, whoever won stayed in, 90% of the time that's going to be an NRL club. But every now and then, you're going to get some hungry lads from the bottom that go up, and imagine the elation they got. Next thing, the resources from their NRL club starts pouring into them, blah, blah. Yeah. I reckon it'd be sick, especially with, they're talking about 20-team comp by 2030.
Yeah.
No, there's going to be some losers that we can get out and get some good kids in.
Yeah. I like it. I reckon it'd be absolutely fascinating to watch. All right. We don't have a video from our mate, the Gronk. He's up at Corumba at the moment. So even Uncle Elon is struggling there up that far to get some sort of connection. So, but what we do have is a couple of team lists here. Now, we'll talk through, I guess this is a little bit of a review for the lads as well, how we think their season's going to go. Next week, Thoroughbreds know that we're doing our accountability episode. So hopefully we'll have everyone on deck. And we'll be able to talk through that, how we feel, what we feel is going to happen during the year. We'll get some hot takes. We're still yet to decide whether or not what we're going to do with our hot takes. We could spice things up a little. We're definitely going to throw it over to the chat for some punishments. That could get a bit out of control, but we'll see what we come through with there. But we'll do the Robins real quick because we don't know any of these players really. We know one player in particular, but and then there's a bit of a question mark on their number 7 due to a tripping incident in their previous game. But fullback is Arthur Morg, wing Tom Davis, Peter Hiku we know Peter Hiku in the centres there, Oliver Gildart on the other centre, Joe Burgess at the other wing, Tyrone May. Mikey Lewis is the 7 who could be having a bit of a stint. I think he's even in doubt for Vegas. I think it's a 2-game ban.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah. And they considered this as a game, obviously. Salso Su, I think, is the prop. Jez Litton.
Suaso,
now,
yeah.
Suaso. We got to watch out for little Jez because he did his best in that York game to swing the tide. Okay. It was 1:30 to go. The Hull KR were defending their line. They're 5 meters out. Jez comes out and puts an absolute shot on one of the 2 second rows, and the ball comes loose. They get the ball. They've got a chance to go down the field and win it. Peter Hiku ends up getting bundled over the sideline sort of thing. But Jez, he's a fighter. We keep an eye on crafty little number 9. Dean Hadley, Reece Martin, James Batchelor, Elliot Minchella round out the big boys there and the run on side. Then on the bench we've got Jack Broadbent, Sam Luckley, Jai Whitbread, and Carl Lawton, with the coach being Willie Peters. Yeah, Carl Lawton,
straight from the Cowboys.
Yeah. So, I don't know who they bring in for Mikey. I don't know if there's a bench reshuffle either coming up against us or whatnot, but that is potentially the team that they're going to run out with. So, all right, Brisbane Broncos. Let's do a little bit of glazing here. Reece Walsh. Have you seen the images coming from England? He's in his English era at the moment. Holy shit, he is loving it.
Mate, he has taken that country by storm. He's the hottest thing to hit that fucking country since the Beach Boys. Dead set. He's just taken over the culture. He looks better in their attire than they do. Bro, pay him whatever NRL should be just paying him whatever he wants just to promote the game because he does it so well. Subtle hot boy doing subtle hot boy things.
Real Beckham vibes, I reckon. It's just class, really.
Those baggy jeans, bro. That was real Beckham vibes, 90s Beckham vibes.
Reece is over there doing Reece things. I know a lot of people have been commenting from over there that they're keen to see Reece play. They got a little glimpse in the Ashes, but the way that I'm looking at it as well, the Ashes was pieced together real quick. You guys come in, we're all coming in, we'll have a bit of a training run. All right, just go out there and then we piece them up and then we go home like that. The field, there's still a fucking joke, the fact that one of the fields didn't even have lines written on it. That was the vibe of the whole Ashes series.
Yeah.
Now you've got a team that's coming over that have spent quite a while with each other. They've built a bond. They're taking this very seriously. I think you're going to see a much better showing of Reece in set plays, in defense calls, and you'll be able to see how he actually his natural game sort of thing. So English fans, I think he's in for a pretty good treat. You'll get to see the Reece well. So then Dean Mariner, I expect him to keep his wing spot. What do you reckon, mate?
Yeah, all year. Dean's on a hot streak. I dead set think he's going to be very close to a Clive or like a winger of the year.
Yeah, Dalian sort of shit.
A Dalian, he he prized a position out of Jesse Arthur's hands last year.
Correct.
Under Madge, right? So that's no easy feat. Jesse Arthur's, I think, scored a try today in the Indigenous game.
Yeah, he did.
Looked every bit about as good a fucking winger as there is in the comp, which he is. And Dean Mariner's keeping him out of a spot. So, you know, I'm expecting big things from Dean. I think his confidence will be way up with the way he played at the back end of last year. He's so good on his feet. He's so agile. He's so dangerous. Oh, he's so dangerous. And hopefully the conditions over there aren't so terrible so that people get to see what he can actually do.
Yep. Tony Staggs is the next one. We've got a bit of a bet from the Gronk coming up in another section of it. But Tony Staggs, he'll be. Everyone's starting to talk. Best center in the world. Is he up there? Who's he comparing with? Tony Staggs. I mean, I'll give him the right. I'll give him the right that there was a couple of years there, obviously through our spoon year and a bit there, he was a bit off when he first burst onto the scene. That don't argue, get out of my way, brah, sort of stiff arm. That was leaving people for dead, and it was good. Then he went a bit quiet. Now he's sort of coming back, and he understands his role. He understands his strength and all that. And again, Tony could go a big way to getting a Dally M in the centres this year if we
100%.
If we play like we played at the back end of last year from the get go. Huge. Like it'll be hard because people will be starting to steal points off one another. There's not just going to be one dominant person in this team, so it'll be interesting to see how we go. But yeah, any thoughts on that one, mate?
Yeah, Katani, mate, he's primed for. He's finally got what he deserved is a premiership. Like he showed people, like if he's not one of the New South Wales wingers, centres this year for State of Origin. They've got absolute fucking rocks in their heads. And as a Queensland Origin supporter, I would hate to see a prime Katoni Staggs with a blue jersey on. So, mate, big year for Katoni.
Yeah. And then we got our miracle story, or one of our miracle stories in Gamat Shibasaki, from the absolute Netherlands of nowhere to Origin glory, Premiership glory, World Cup challenge sort of stuff. So, Gamat will surely keep. I don't think anyone's threatening to take him off. His brother's down there at Red Hill on a train and trial, but he's a second rower. Be interesting to see. Interesting that he didn't play in that trial, actually. Now that I think about it, but yeah, Gamat's there and Josiah. Do you want to talk about Josiah? Bring him, mate.
I think Josiah crawled way under the radar last year, considering, like we said before, we have Jesse Arthurs that played both sides the year before.
And
Josiah's
Cobbo.
Just
They both kept Cobbo out as well.
So, you know, the wingers we had on the Pine were Jesse Arthurs and Selwyn Cobbo for most of last year. So Josiah Karapani needs a huge pat on the back. And I think that's going to be, I think that's the biggest unknown for us is the Shiba Karapani, right? Have they, like, it'd be so easy for them to say that's the peak, right? The win and the comp's at peak. How do you better yourselves? But I highly doubt with a coach like Madge that he's going to allow them to rest on their laurels.
Yeah.
But they're the ones I'm most interested to watch because if Gamat now has confidence that like Katoni and other players around him have, you can only imagine that he would be better. And a better Gamat is like that's the scary thing. If Gamet gets better, he's the other Dally M centre of the year.
Yeah.
I'm serious. That's how good he can be. If he improves on last year, because last year was like this big surprise, but he was still unreal. Made Origin, done a fucking terrific job. If he improves on that this year, he will be fucking unstoppable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and in all seriousness, like, you got second year syndrome coming in, but not a lot of people, you can't call him a rookie, but he will get second-year syndrome. But not a lot of the people that suffer from that are coming off of a premiership win either.
Yes.
You know,
and years of disappointment before that.
Yeah, he knows.
Like
he knows
he's not an 18-year-old kid. Like
yeah.
He's a mature player. So yeah, they're Gamat and Josiah Karapani are the two that I am most interested in to see either the progression or, you know, and the other thing, you've got Grant Anderson and Jesse Arthurs this year. It's not as if there isn't like A graders sitting there sweating on you to fucking drop the ball.
And if anyone watched the trial the other day, you got Philip Coates as well, who is a big body and very acrobatic, just like his brother. So he's there waiting as well. So
like, Philip Coates could walk into pretty much any NRL side tomorrow, I think, and be a winger. So, dead right.
I love this chat. We've got through the back line and we've already got 4 Dally M's.
We've got through the back 5 and everyone got a Dally M. Just to give us the whole team.
We've cleared out any other supporting team listening. They're like, what the fuck is this shit? Click.
Good.
Yeah, we've got your listens. You can leave now. Which brings us on to the next Dally M contender, Ezra Mam. He was the first picked in my Supercoach team. I'll be honest straight away. I put him and Payne straight in. Ezra, this year, like he had that year in 2023. He was 12 minutes away from a Churchill. Like scored a triple in the grand final. Then the shit hit the fan. Sort of, I guess you could say second year syndrome on that. 2024, obviously, at the end of that wasn't the best for him. And then he come out, he had to pay his dues at the beginning of the 25 system, worked his way back in. I'm going to guess with Madge being there, talent will get you so far into the team, but the rest has to be heart and I guess want sort of thing. So, and then that grand final, I feel like he played within himself. A lot of those, like he played well. He's a very good player. People forget how talented Ezra Mam can be, but I feel like he played within himself and just did his role. And you could see that he was passionate and all that in the grand final. A couple of those shots that he did, rock some of them big
fucking
fellas.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
So, and I just a full off season with a confident Walshy who is his best mate. You've got Madge there giving him belief, and Ezra Mam this year, I'm very interested to watch because he could absolutely light this up on fire.
100%. And 100%. This is the year for Ezra Mam to really explode as a true great a true great half in the NRL. He had the 2023 year. He had the big grand final. He had a bugger all 2024. He had the drama. All that shit needs to be out of his system now. And honestly, he must have got it out of his system because in a team where you have Reno and Ben Hunt and Corey Pakes and Blake Moser and all these hookers, it'd be very easy to manage to go Reno, Hunt, 6-7 if Ezra wasn't doing what he wanted. So the fact that Ben Hunt's playing 9 tells me that Ezra's doing what he needs to do in the preseason, and he's another one that good luck if he plays out of his skin. Like, good luck to everyone else because he's running games the best 6 in the comp for running, probably other than Dylan Brown at his best. But his defense is the thing that is the most impressive. In that grand final, some of the tackles that he put on players double his size is ridiculous. So, big watch on Ezra.
Well, he put the mocker on Warbrick. He smacked Warbrick there, and Warbrick never really got back into the game afterwards. But I'm not being hyperbolical here either, Thoroughbreds. Like, for those of you who know Ezra Mam and know what he was like coming through the grades, he could be, and this might be a hot take, I don't know, but he could be bigger than Reece Walsh. Like, he is dead set electric when he gets going. So I'm pretty excited about that. Adam Reynolds, we're going to see a bit of a swan song this year, mate. You reckon?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Renault's going to tell us where to go, kick us to corners and kick goals. Hopefully no more hamstrings or soft tissue injury so he can just get through the year. But yeah, Renault doesn't have to overplay his hand. He knows now he's got the firepower all over the park. All he has to do is say, run here, I'll kick to this corner, and I'll get you the ball now and shut the gate. So
yeah,
it must be a good feeling for Renault to have a forward pack building like we have on his last year, where he can just go like, oh yeah, just go that way, get us like 30 metres, get us 2 quick play the balls, and I'll just sling it to Ezra, and then Reese will be running around the back of that, and then we'll score over there, and then I'll just kick the goal. How about we just do that for my...
I'll walk over and grab the tea while you guys run this play.
yeah, pretty much. I'll get it off Hunty, and I'll draw the fucking Abe defender, and then I'll pass it and run to the T-boy and just go kick the goal from the fucking 10.
Yeah,
that's Renault's job this year.
Yeah, 100%. Now, the ever-reliable diesel engine that is Corey Jensen, I expect that he will retain that number 8. Unsung as well. That's another sleeper. Like, the work that Jensen puts in is... And the fact that he's doing it living away from his wife as well for like 4 years now. Hats off to you, mate. But yeah, Corey Jensen will be there.
He's loving it.
He is. It's the reason why they're still together.
yeah, 100%.
that old miner's tale.
Yeah.
So yeah, Big Jensen will be there. I'm pretty excited. You know what you're going to get every single time. They called you out for it too, mate, in that little thing that you put out without mentioning Jensen in our forward pack, that we're going to miss Payne Haas next year.
And you know, I didn't think he was signed until 27, so that's why I left him out. And I apologise. I apologise to Corey, because he's one of my favourite forwards, because he's in a pack of absolute weapons. Corey plays an 8 or a 9 every fucking game. 8 or 9 or 10 for Corey. He doesn't stop. He makes his tackles. He takes the shit hard runs. He does what he has to do. He gets us upfield. Corey is going to be the number, like, he's going to be run on prop for us for as long as he wants to be, in my opinion. Everyone else has to have, like, he has to retire, essentially, for me, or go somewhere else before he's not run on, because, you know, you know what you're going to get. Like you said, you know he's going to make his tackles. You know he's got that. And don't forget, he played with a fair bit of, I can't remember if it's knee or ankle trouble last year, and he wasn't actually fully, like, coming good until the very back end when we started dominating teams. So I think Corey's in for another solid year, which is going to be what we need. And he's only 1 or 2 injuries away from playing Origin, I believe, because it's the same thing. Josh Papali's not there anymore. And what do you get with Corey Jensen? Essentially that. He's going to turn up. He's going to make the hard runs. He's going to make the shit tackles. He's going to turn up in defence when things are getting tough. Corey Jensen's a ripper. One
that was already there, Mo Fodawaker. I would put Jensen in line, or if not better than Mo's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you might be onto something there, but just another strange retention policy at the Cowboys that they let go.
Yeah. So, don't need him anymore. We've got heaps of middles except for none.
Yeah, yeah. And then we got Benny Hunt, Dozer. And we'll do a quick little plug here as well. If you're listening, Thoroughbreds, and you've been living under a rock, it's probably not your fault. It's probably
metaphorically or otherwise.
It's probably just our social media coverage that's been pretty shit. But we have started a petition to get Ben Hunt's mural on 2 silos out the front of Dingo, which is his hometown where he grew up. He played for the Blackwater Crushers junior leagues not far from there. He went to Yeppoon. St. Brendan's there for college, which again is in Rockhampton, which isn't too far from Dingo. So yeah, we have done that. If you head over to change.org, and I'll put it in the description on YouTube, if you head over there, put your signature on if you haven't already. The signatures we've just crossed as of going to air tonight over 800. It might not seem like a lot, but there is a lot in there that are around that area, which is a very small community. So it's good to see that they're sort of getting on board. We've got some things going on in the background. This isn't going to happen overnight at all. We are going to work on it slowly but surely, and with the aim that when he is ready to retire, it'll be ready. It'll be done. That's the whole. So hopefully, Ben, you can go another year. That'd be great. We get a little bit longer timeline, but we are working away at it. So yeah, anything to add on Ben, mate? What are you thinking for this season? He hasn't got to do much either, has he?
Well, I think this is going. Poor old Hunty. He's getting to the end of his year now. You got to get in the middle and tackle every cunt. Like that's the only thing. But this is going to be a real interesting part for me with Benny playing 9, like officially. Like we've had all this rigmarole last year about whether he's going to play 6 or 9 or 14 or blah, 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 blah. Ben's our 9 now.
Yeah.
Billy Walters is out of the picture. Corey Pakes is on the bench. Or Blake Mose or whoever wants to play the reserve 9, the 14 role. But Ben Hunt's our 9. So it's going to be very interesting how he's going in the full preseason, knowing that that's his role. We all know how good he is at origin level. Yeah. So once again, mate, if we get prime Ben Hunt at 9, fucking look out competition, because we all know what he can do. Like he is as good as they come at that position. So yeah, he maybe a yard or two a pace getting out, making those dummy half runs, but he's a excellent kick option that's in the team. He's another old head, and he's going to tighten up that middle defensively. So, and he's a comp winning number 7. You know, essentially, that's just sitting there if something happens to our halves. So, yep, excellent.
Yeah, and he's got a couple of young snappers at his heels too. So even if the body isn't quite up to a full season, we can probably afford to rest him. Same with Renault. We'll get to them though. I think we'll have time. Then we've got the big man, Payne Haas, number 10. I don't know. There's not much more you can say about Payne other than, I mean, Corey gives you 8 or 9. Payne will give you 8, 9, and 10, but with probably double the talent. I would say nothing on Corey, but Payne is generational, next level, best to ever do it. So
100%. Like Payne, there's a thing called a ceiling, and Payne's ceiling is here, and like the best front rowers in the world are like here. Like there's levels to this shit, and Payne is the top. He will, as long as he is fit, will be the best forward on the park every game he plays. And, you know, hopefully we get to see 12 months of Payne just ripping people's heads off for the Broncos before he disappears down south.
It mortifies me to think that we're going to have to come up against him. The only thing that's sort of easing my pain is he's got a 38-year-old number 7. So he's going from an old half to an old half, and they got issues down there. But it is Payne still. He can fucking rip games apart by himself.
Payne will do what he wants, but luckily we only got to play him twice a year.
Yep. Jack Koswolski. Now, reports are, if you're listening to birdies on Twitter and all that sort of stuff, or X, Jack will take the number 11 jersey when we run out over Brendan Piakura, who has succumbed to a knee knock. So he had to get a little minor surgery to get that cleaned out and whatnot. He stayed over here and they didn't travel with the team. So, yeah, Jack Goz. I mean, fuck, I feel like shit because last year we're sitting there going, well, he's broken his collarbone. It's contract season. That's probably him done. Where does he go? Who picks him up? And then he gets re-signed, and then nothing is heard, and then he just sneaks back on into the picture. So hats off to you, Jack, the chicken man.
Yeah, Brito, Jack Goz, the magic man, the chicken man. He blew everyone away last year when he took that starting position from Brendan Pericura, who had nothing wrong with him at the beginning of last year, and everyone was very surprised that Jack Goz got the call up. I don't think we should be surprised anymore. Madge obviously loves him. He gets another preseason. Like, I think he's going to do, he's going to do well. There was only thing with Jack last year was a few defensive things that we sort of picked out where he wasn't tying in and just little things, but more than likely being picked up this year. He's got he's a good rangy body. He's good hands. He will hit a hole if there's one available. So, yeah, good on him, mate. I'm pretty happy for Jack to be right up there.
And then number 12, Jordan Ricky. Pretty Ricky. Witty Ricky.
Pretty Ricky. Pretty witty Ricky.
Buzz's best friend as of the grand final. I'm going to be honest. I will need to see a bit more from Geordie. I know he's solid. I know he didn't end the season, terribly. But I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's my issue that I just want to see Ricky just Britain the core of this shit. Just hit a hole hard as shit. Snap dudes. I want that from Geordie. And because I want to see him do it. Not because, I don't know, maybe he doesn't want to play like that. Maybe that's not his style. But I just want to see him snap cunts and hit holes as far as I'm concerned.
I think this is the year of Jordan Ricky. He had that incredible year 2023 when we made the grand final. There was a bit of a lapse, 24. He was in and out last year. I think early in the season we were sort of like, Jordan, we need double figure runs from you, mate. 7 runs in a game's not good enough. And then that sort of, we started seeing those numbers creep up after Origin period. 12, 15 runs a game, starting to get a little bit more involved. I think this is the year Jordan Ricky goes, fuck it, I'm as good as these other fellas. I'm not going to be sitting out here on an edge just being a defender.
Yeah.
Because he's such a big, thick boy, so athletic, and he's got Katoni outside of him. We could make that a very lethal edge if Jordan can flick it in his brain that he is a hole runner or is a threat to the line. Because once we instill that in him, opens up opportunities for Katoni. Katoni's already a threat, so can you imagine if Jordan gets it in his head that he's willing to take the ball on? What's defense going to do if they have to, worry about both of them? Because at the moment, teams know that Jordan's not going to be the one that gets the ball. He's going to be the decoy, or he's going to take the shit run. He's not a ball running threat on an edge. And if we can make him into a ball running threat, Jesus Christ. And he can be. We know he can be because there are games where he does do it and he looks incredible. And
I'll take my hat off.
We know what he does defensively. He's a fucking weapon.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. He puts so much energy into defense. Like there's, barely missed tackles, sort of barely below like a 89, 90% tackle efficiency sort of thing. And he holds on. Like if you're going to get through Geordie, you've got to break through sort of thing. So, yeah, anyway, we'll see. We'll see. Next man is number 13. I'm sure the English fans will be keen to see Paddy Carrigan and his hair roll into the MKM Stadium. It'll be pretty good to see how he starts. I mean, last year Madge started him at 10 or 8. And so it'll be interesting to see now back at 13, just getting back into it, really, doing what he does. So I don't know. I don't know what more you can say. I know that now that Payne's disappearing, we probably got another winner for Club Player of the Year for the next 6 years or however long, however long he's been contracted for. But yeah, any thoughts on Paddy, mate?
Well, Paddy's a saving grace. He's playing 13. he knows he's playing 13 now that Kobe's gone. There was all the conjecture last year. Is Paddy a prop? Is Paddy a 13? Paddy's going to play 13. He's going to play nearly 80 minutes, I'm guessing. And he's going to be either the best or second best 13 in the comp. Like, Paddy staying, Patrick staying is the only thing that makes you, not the only thing, but one of the main things that makes you not as sad that Payne has to leave. Because any team with Paddy Carrigan in the forward pack is going to be a weapon. And I don't think we even seen the best of Paddy last year. And I think that's coming. He's the future captain of the club. He's going to take us into many years to come as the skipper. Yeah, Paddy's Paddy. Paddy's a Bronco. Paddy's our captain, my captain for 2027.
That's it. We'll get to the bench now. We'll list all of them here. So we've got Blake Moser, Xavier Willison, Oblex Tafar. We had a listener reach out and tell us the correct pronunciation of that, so we appreciate that. But the W and H is an F, so it's Tafar. And then Ben Tolte, my Sir Thickness, making it onto the the bench there. I'm pretty excited if this is our bench for round one, because I reckon Oblex up there running around with the likes of, you got Preston Ricky, was a train and trial. You've got the Shibasaki's brother, Jamal, I think his name is. Xavier Willison, you got Ben Tolte, you got Piakor and all that. Just getting him around those. I seen great things. Straight up, Oblex, if you do listen, you won my heart when you shaped up the Spencer Lenu. Like, it's fucking, mate, it's fun. Yeah, it's straight into the fucking record book right there for me, sort of thing. So, I mean, that's a lethal bench. Blake Moser, we all seen what he could do at the back end of when was it? Was it 23? 24, when he was sort of coming in at the back end. You could see momentum change just when he got on instantly. There was he took control from number 9 there, and he was doing some pretty good things. Had a broken jaw, I believe, last year. Unlucky in the Q Cup. And then a few other injuries kept him out, as well as Corey Pakes was really doing no wrong, and we had the difference as well at 14. But this is a chance for Blake to really show what he's doing, and that he will potentially take over that number 9 once Ben goes. Xavier Willison, don't forget how big he is. I know we're losing Payne. Payne is a big dude, but Xavier, Mr. Stand-on Business himself, is a big boy. Oblex and then Ben Tolte. I'm going to be very interested to see how Ben goes with a full off season. Obviously, he's had a couple of off seasons there with other clubs, but not to the extent of you've got a jersey, you've got a contract, let's go, like we're moving now. So, thoughts on the bench, mate? I think it's a ripper of a bench.
It's a ripper. I think Oblex, like you said, tougher. He brings that, excuse the French, Thoroughbreds, he brings that cunt that we don't have at the moment. He brings that fire. X has it to a degree, but we don't need X to fly off the handle, because if we have a prop go down, we need X to be there for 60 minutes just tearing people to pieces. Oblex has that bit of arsehole about him. Obviously, he was going to... I wish they would have just let him go, Spencer and Oblex, and just... Because the boy looks like he does not give a fuck about who you are. Like, let's go, bruh. Like, anyway, so Oblex exactly won all of our hearts, and when he signed with the Broncos, I was like, oh fuck yeah, can't wait for this shit. And Blake Moser, obviously, there's potential there for Blake to be a top tier 9. He's probably getting the best apprenticeship other than Melbourne under Harry Grant in the comp, being Ben Hunt and Billy Walters, who plays a lot of different positions and is such a dynamic 9.
And Cam Smith.
And then Ben Tolte, exactly. And Cam Smith is in the coaching staff. So good luck. Ben Tolte come from New South Wales Cup. Xavier Wilson, I think, had a quad injury. Pretty much played first grade straight away as soon as he was signed.
Yeah, I think he played
Scored
one.
tries in these first 2 games.
Yeah,
he played one game for the Wynnum or something. Then played top grade, scored a try in each of his first 10 games, and then was pretty much a mainstay in the first grade squad for the rest of the year. Give that boy a pre-season and the confidence now to know Ben Tolthy is our Corey Jensen. It's just like one out, one in. You know exactly what you're getting. He's a bit more dynamic probably because he's younger than Corey. But yeah, mate, I reckon it's a shit-hot bench.
Yeah.
A shit-hot bench.
And then we're not even playing to the new six-person bench.
No, this must be.
We've still got 2 there to fill in, which could potentially be a Phillip Coates, could potentially be a Duffy or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, outside back.
Well,
and
you'd
half.
imagine so you'd imagine it'd be like a Jesse Arthurs or a Grant Anderson and then a Duffy or a Josh Rogers. You'd imagine for the 6-man bench. So, yeah.
That's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. And having our 2 older heads of state, I guess you could call, it's probably come at a really good time. Tinfoil hat stuff. We won the comp, so we asked PVL to adjust the rules for us. So just like Melbourne used to do.
Well, you never know. Like there could be us stacking the 9 position could be. Well, we might lose Renault, we might lose Benny Hunt, but we've got Blake Moser, Corey Pakes, Billy Walters. We've got all these 9s just ready to fucking play first grade.
Yep. All right. That's the team list then. Coach Michael Maguire, obviously. We'll move on to the betting, the money end of the podcast. Bit of movement. So, Ringer, on that sheet that I've given you, mate, the things that are in the brackets are what the markets were when I made up this run sheet a couple of weeks back.
Wow.
So you can see some pretty serious. So Hull was always $5.50 head to head. We have come from $3.75 into $1.14 after the York Knights put a 1-point win against them. I guess the big movement, we were $5.60 for 13 plus, and we've come into $1.67. The Robins were $3.20 for a 13 plus, and they come out to a $23.
Yeah, that's a blowout and a half.
Yeah, some huge movement there. And then 1 to 12s. I mean, $7 for the Robins, $3.30 for us, 1 to 12. It'd be good if it is a tight game, but I'm fearful. We've got a result, a scoreline, and an anytime try scorer. I've gone Broncos for the win. It's going to be a 10-54 victory, and I've got Xavier Willison crossing. What have you got, mate?
Well, obviously the Broncos to win. I'm playing a bit of value just because of what the weather might be. And just in the history of how this contest sets up. So I'm going to go Broncos to win. The score's going to be 32-24.
Yep.
So that puts us in 1 to 12 category, right? And I'm going to have Ezra Mam as any time.
I think there, so we've got it down on record.
I think it's gone away. Let me reload this because what happened?
We can't do. We got to wait till team list before we can put any time.
Yeah. Yeah. From what I looked at, I think that should get you about $20. I don't know why.
Yeah, okay.
I think it should get because of the 1 to 12 and then the Ezra.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Langers, he's given us 10 to 28. He's obviously gone the Broncos, and he's trying to wrangle the Stags. So he's got that in there. And then I'll just have a quick look here at our boy, the Gronk. I'm pretty sure he went. He's 38-4 He's got a bit of a blowout as well. Not as
he's
much
got a
as
blowout.
me, but blowout. And then he's going for a double stags. He reckons the big.
Oh, he's running on the double stags.
Yeah, and I think Peter Hiku's on the right side.
Okay.
So who's he up against? That's
Shibba.
That's Shibba and Karapani. Yeah.
So
okay.
Hiku's got a better chance than whoever the pasty loser is on Stags' edge. Sorry, LKR, but I gotta say
it. Yeah. And then Harry did send in what he's got. He's got 24-18 to Hull. I'd expect nothing less. But he's got Burgess scoring. So we'll see how that goes.
So he's going to wing it. That's a big swing, isn't it?
Hopefully it's I don't know. I don't know if I'd enjoy it. I just want a blowout, fucking no injury blowout score so they can come home and get
no injury. No injury is the main thing.
Righto. We will put those in a multi and we'll get back to you. We'll probably post something on the socials close to the game on Instagram because TikTok hates gambling. You can do everything else on TikTok. You just can't gamble. Anyway, there's a bit of shit going on there.
Boats and hoes.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's us. We'll talk. League code for Supercoach. If you want to get involved, 334, and I'll put it in the description. 334-377 for Supercoach. We're back again. We've got quite a list of people already, I guess you could say. I'll get those numbers up just to show you that we're not mucking around. And then the NRL tipping competition, we're back again as well. 331-583. So yeah, we're all a go there. And then just a quick shout out for the Rugby League Daily. They have a Supercoach comp as well. So their code is 816446. League name is RLD 2026. Now, they actually have a pretty sick prize. They are one NRL jersey plus a basic membership for the club of your choice. So get over there, and it's free to. I believe it's free to get involved. So get over there, get amongst that, get your teams ready to go. We will announce our prizes in a couple of months. We're still building up something here, so. But there will be a prize. It's not going to be that. I can guarantee you that. I'd love it. I'm not going to rule it out. Any corpies out there that want to, throw us a couple of $. Yeah. We can make some shit happen. Broncos. So yeah, in the league for the tipping, we've got 12 entries so far, which is good. And I'm
not in there yet, so that'll be 13 in a minute.
There you go. And then in the leagues we have 25 entries this year. That has easily surpassed what we had last year. And it was a really good competition last year. Everyone went pretty strong for the first half. And then that's, we kind of gave up a few of us there, me included. I was only in it to beat these losers in the podcast. So, but yeah, anything else, mate?
No, mate, I think we covered it all. Hopefully we get the result over in the UK. The boys didn't travel over the cold pisser of a place just to get a flogging. Injury free. And hopefully the boys come away with the win. We bring the silverware home and we prepare ourselves to roll into 2026. And we get along God Thoroughbreds and we just roll in. We take the comp again and we just have a great year. So let's just do that.
That'll be good. So yeah, next episode will be our accountability plus a review. Then we'll have Vegas that weekend next after. So that'll kind of be like, I guess, a preview of the Panthers game and our guests on the team list based on the game that's about to happen.
Yeah.
Also, in the comments, we are swinging with the idea that potentially we try and do a live for every away game, just a live watch along. So in the comments, let us know if you would be keen to see that. And the reason that we're doing away games is that we know most of you guys would try to get the Suncorp if you can, or you'd rather watch the home game sort of thing. The away games, if you just want to watch us, watch that, have the TV on mute, listen to us talk shit, let us know. We can get things happening in the background so we can potentially set up after the Panthers game for that one. So we won't be doing a live watch along for the World Club Challenge as much as I'd love to. But yeah, there'll be a bit going on in my household at that time in the morning. I can tell you that.
Yeah. We might be live watching along it together.
Yeah.
But with families in the background.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing? Where's my eggs? Oh, sorry.
All right. No worries, Thoroughbreds. Thank you for listening along. As always, let us know in the comments your thoughts on what we went through. If you're listening to us, you've found us. Here's to a great 2026 where we go well as a club and hopefully as a podcast as well. Please spread the word, tell your mates, like, subscribe to get updates on the new episode drops and everything. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, Threads, YouTube Shorts, you name it, you can find us. Apple, Spotify. Like on our post costs you guys nothing, helps us with the algorithm. Please do that as much as you can. Comment gives us motivation. We love the engagement. We love watching you guys interact. We love interacting with you guys. Sharing our content introduces us to others as well, so that's really helpful as well. Even a quick repost on Instagram or TikTok or something like that. And yeah, hitting that favorite button when you can really gives us a bit of motivation going forward. So bet responsibly, bet for fun and not for the rent. Be a contributor to society, stay out of one another unless it's consensual, and we will gallop off into the World Club Challenge. Enjoy your week, Thoroughbreds. Stay safe.
Good on you, Thoroughbreds. Thanks for the week. Let's go.